Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Sedici Chicane 2 gloves. Now, the Chicane 2 gloves are a step down within the sport gauntlet glove line from, say, the courses, but they're going to be an awesome option for anybody out there looking to ride on the street, maybe get you to the track. These could easily do your first track day or first couple track days on there with full leather coverage, as well as a gauntlet-style cuff up there, and aimed at summer riding. There's going to be a lot of perforation throughout, helping flow that air through. Not going to be something that's going to be good on the colder side of the year, but anybody out there that's twisting through the canyons, or if you're getting out to your first track day, I think you might want to check out the all-new Chicane 2 and some of the key updates that they've done. Before I start talking about that, let's hit some of the quick features out of the box. These are $90. That is a $10 increase from the Chicane Originals, which I'm not upset about, especially in this day and age. They are available in men's, they are available in women's. The sizing is going to be small to 3 extra large for the men, and extra small to 2 extra large for the women, and they're going to be available in a couple different colors. It's about 3 or 2 colors depending on which version you are looking at. And the sizing is pretty true to size. I measure my hand about 8.75 inches in the circumference around the right side of my hand and around the circumference of it, and I fit in a size large. Now, I'm a large in every glove out there on the market, and these larges are no different. They fit very comfortable out of the box, something that the leather will break in a little bit, called about 10 to 15% as you start sweating in them. As you start using them, they will break in a little bit, but out of the box, they're very comfortable. Not something that's restrictive, not something that's overly long in the finger length for my average length fingers, but something that has nice movement, especially with that accordion leather throughout. So keep that in mind. When we're looking at the main construction, it is a full goat leather main construction throughout, both the palm as well as the back of the hand and the gauntlet. You are looking at bits of perforation throughout just to add that airflow through, but when we're looking at the gauntlet, it is a double cuff entry is what we mean by the gauntlet. The outer side is reinforced with foam and a little bit of leather to protect the outer side of the wrist should you go down. A little bit of elastic on the inside, I like that, and reduces the overall bulk. If you're putting these over top of a cuff or you're putting them underneath, I do like that they kind of have the option, whether it depends on how you wrench down on the Velcro. Underneath of this flap, you will see the Velcro retention strap at the wrist. That helps just keep it secure, while this keeps it secure up around your wrist over top of the leather jacket, sleeve, or underneath of it. Coming down the back of the hand, like I said, I called out that foam at the back with the sublimated Sedici logo over top. One thing I do want to call out though before I move on is that they're using perf leather underneath there. I like that. That helps a lot of that hot air escape out of the gloves, and it doesn't actually cause too much bulk because the perforated leather is much thinner than the overall regular leather on there. So I like that they've added that in. It does creep down to the back of the wrist where you have some elastic underneath there with the Chicane logo, and then you're looking at a TPU, a dual density TPU knuckle on here. Now this is a new version for these models, and it does have air inlets inside to help some air flow through, but what I mean by floating knuckle is that it does have a lift up at the back where you can see that perforated leather as well as the elastic underneath with some foam underneath the knuckle just to protect it, but it helps you getting into the riding position, actually naturally pulls up and gives you that space on there, so it's not going to be hindering or uncomfortable when you're grabbing the controls or if you're wrapping them around your grips on the bike. But I like that, and I mentioned it before, dual density. It is split down the middle, so it's nice and comfortable on all day rides. It's going to move with your knuckles nice, and I like that they surrounded it with double reinforced stitching around there with that full goat leather main construction. So really dig that. They did refine the back of the fingers. You get accordion leather at the base of the trigger fingers, as well as some foam underneath the perforated leather just for a little bit of reinforcement at the impact. They kept the 3rd and 4th finger bridge. A lot of people look for this because it helps reinforce the little finger on the outside by connecting it to the ring finger. So if you go down and it grabs, you have that second bracing on there. So a lot of people tend to look for that, and I like that Sedici's including it in their Chicanes. You can see that as double strap with the vent hole in the center just to allow some air to flow through, because you do have a little bit of perforation at the fourchettes inside of the fingers just to allow some airflow through. Fully covered outer seam running down to the palm slider that I'll talk about in a second with a little bit of pop of foam. That's good. If you go down on the outer side of the glove, that's going to keep sliding. It's going to reinforce that outer edge and not be a fail point on there. One thing I love about the Chicanes, and I loved it about the originals, and they kept it on these, you do have external seams on the fingers on the palm side. I really dig that. That's something that reduces bulk, makes them a little bit comfortable because you don't have those seams digging into your fingers, but when you go ahead and grip the palm, or I'm sorry, grip the grips on the bike, you actually can see they come together and really connect well, so you don't have any missing gaps or anything like that when you're trying to get maximum grip out on your bike. They kept the touch tech both at the finger and the thumb if you are pinching and zooming for your maps, if you're out in the twisty canyons, or if you have like a touchscreen dash or something like that. I like that they include that. Not many sport gloves do, and I always look for it because it is a modern day and age, and I like using my phone. Even if I'm pulled over on the side, I don't want to take my gloves off to go ahead and use it. Reinforced silicone gripper running across the palm and the crook of the thumb and the index finger, just give you a little bit more added grip on the controls. Little pops of perforation throughout the palm just to add some airflow through there. And coming down the base, I mentioned it before, you do have a TPU slider at the base of the landing zone here at the palm with a pop of foam. If you go up to the courses, you're actually getting 2 scaphoid protectors here and 2 scaphoid sliders using the knock style, but I like that they've at least reinforced the entire area with this double layer of leather. Should you go down, you got that TPU slider that's gonna help you slide. This is one of those scenarios where you actually want to slide on it because most people put their hands down in the event of an accident, and if that grabs on the ground while you're going and your whole momentum goes forward, it can snap your wrist. So typically we love seeing that on a gauntlet sport style glove just to give you a little bit more slide. But there you have the Chicanes. Honestly, as far as full goat leather construction with the gauntlet style, with the dual density knuckle, external seams, 3rd and 4th finger bridge, this punch is well above its weight. I think for $90, it is actually a really great price for what you're getting, especially if you are looking for something for the twisty canyons, riding out on the back roads, or to get you to the track if you want to do a track day. After that, you can step up to the courses and really go for maximum protection and get some full aramid. But I like what Chicanes are doing at that $90 price point. But if you have any other questions, click that info button. It's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about this new Chicane and new fitment. If you have any questions about the fitment specifically, or if you just want to tone in the size before you order, give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all-new Sedici Chicane 2 gloves. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.